Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be talking about waterfall model, which is one of the many software development life cycles. For example, spiral model, rad model, and etc. Software Development Lifecycle, or SDLC, is a process used to develop and test high quality softwares by software industries and organizations. The SDLC aims to produce a high quality software that meets the customer's demands. The SDLC aims to produce a high quality software that meets the customer's demands, and it is also completed within the customer's issue time and cost. So there are various SDLCs, or which we can call as process models. For example, a rad model, waterfall model, spiral model, DevOps model, and etc. So let's talk about waterfall model. It was the first process model to be introduced, and it is very simple to understand and use. So each phase in a waterfall model must be completed before the next phase can start. So this is to avoid overlapping of phases. Now waterfall model is also referred to as a linear sequential life cycle model. So as the word linear sequential itself states, that any phase in a development process begins only if the previous phase is complete. Also, the waterfall model, as we all know, that phases do not overlap only because it is a linear sequential life cycle model. Applications are as follows. Requirements are very well documented, clear, and fixed. So no changes or addition can be made at later stages. Product definition is always stable. There are no ambiguous requirements, and projects are usually very short.
So I'm gonna go into the consecutive phases. The first phase is called the requirement analysis. The second one is system design. The third one is implementation. And the fourth one is integration and testing. And the fifth one is deployment of system. And the sixth one, which is the last one, is maintenance. So the first phase is requirement analysis. So what is requirement analysis? It is here is where we state the possible requirements for the system that needs to be developed. We also need to document any requirement specification on a document. So the second phase is system design. Here is where all the possible requirements are studied for the system design to be prepared. Thus, the system design orders any hardware and system requirements. This in turn helps capture and outlines the overall system architecture or structure. The third one is implementation. In this phase, we use the inputs from the system design to first develop a small program, which is called units. Moreover, every unit will be tested to make sure it functions properly. Thus, it is to be called unit testing. The fourth phase is integration and testing. The units that were used to test the systems are integrated into the system after every test that is being done for every unit. This is a situation where the entire system have experienced any faults and failures. In clear understanding, this will show us if the system works. And if it doesn't, it will show us errors occurring so we are able to fix them. Phase 5 is deployment of system. So finally, we're able to say that all functional and non-functional tests have been done. Maintenance phase is the last phase where issues, bugs, and room for improvement come up in the system that is being used in the market. So in order to keep track of it, we have to update it frequently and make sure that it's on task. That's why versions are created to update the product for better use. Therefore, this is why the maintenance is an important task for long-lasting product in a market.
Hi everyone, my name is Abimbola Akinsola. I will continue the presentation from where my previous team members stopped. Today, I'll be speaking on advantage and disadvantage of waterfall. Advantages of waterfalls are: 1. Its ease of use. When compared with other methodology, waterfall focuses most on a clear, defined set of steps. Waterfall highlights the step-by-step needed to deliver an end-to-end project. It is easy to understand because it follows the same pattern for each project and requires no previous knowledge or training to get started. Each of the phases has a specific component that needs to be met and reviewed, making it easy to maintain and control over each steps. 2. Upfront planning, comprehensive documentation. In this, waterfall requires each step, each phase, its review and documented before moving to the next. Waterfall commits to an end product, goals, or deliverable at the beginning. In waterfall, requirements are easy to track, report on, and refer back to the project objective. 3. For best simple unchanging smaller projects. It is best used for small projects that will likely change. Waterfall works well for smaller projects where requirements are clearly defined and well understood. 4. Close project manager involvement. The project manager is closely involved in this methodology and is aware of the requirements, the risks, the cost, and the time. Disadvantages of waterfall. 1. It's high amount of risks and uncertain because the development will be seen fully until the end of the implementation phase. Waterfall contains a high amount of risks and uncertain. 2. A long delivering time. It takes so much time to implement, to see a product begin production until late in the life cycle. 3. Difficulty in determining requirements. An analysis of the project is done very early in the process, meaning the stakeholder and the customer must identify their desired outcome early on. 4. It makes change difficult. Once the project is completed, there is no way to go back and change the outcome without the approval of the change board. You will need to still repeat the entire process from the beginning. The methodology leaves almost no room for unexpected changes or revision. A suddenly change is required and may lead to risks, cost, and delay of the project. 5. Delay testing until after completion. Saving the testing phase until the last half of the project is very risky. Not a good model for a complex project. Poor model for a long and ongoing project. It's both time consuming and costly. Thank you all.